They told us to give a disclaimer. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, owners, sponsorships, or employees of thereof. Pretty much, if you're soft, don't listen to this podcast.
One thing I pride myself on is just being the same and trying to look out for my folks along the way.
Like, even with all these, big things happening, like, you still mad humble, and you still, like, you have enough clout now where you could easily be like, I'm not fucking with this, I'm not fucking with that.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers, it's on. Unrestricted Podcast listeners, thank you so much for clicking play. Because of you, those numbers are going up, and up. And if you're a part of the Patreon gang, thank you so much. You're helping to keep the lights on in the studio, and we're approaching 100 patrons. So we're on our road to 100, and it's all because of you. If you want to help support, maybe you want to buy a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, you can go on to allrawk.com, ALLRAWK.com. And if you don't want to spend any money, maybe you're a non-paying peasant or MPP, as we like to say. If you're part of the MPP crew, you can just share, like, comment, subscribe. That's how you brokies can get it done. Now, today I got a very special guest across from me. We just filmed our episodes of No Hablo de Español. You know this man's face. My man, Angel Cervera.
Hey, it's been a while, dude.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I haven't been here since Christmas 2 years ago.
Or 3 weeks ago.
Not potting, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you fell into a deep depression.
And I fell to a deep depression, and that's the reason why I ended up quitting podcasting, because nobody would invite me. And meanwhile, I invited everybody. No, just kidding.
No, he's not. He's not kidding at all.
He's just start crying right now.
Exactly.
And you guys, and this guy. Yeah.
Well, let's bring in the surprise, everybody. Come on.
My mom is so crying.
Yeah. It's an intervention. It's okay, Angel. It's going to be all right.
Start your pod. I'm like, no.
Not again. Since you quit podcasting.
Since you've been gone. We're going to do this. I'm back, baby. We're going to do this all pod long.
No, let's not. I'm not Justin Simmons. I can't just break out a song with you.
Anyway.
Since you've been gone, I've seen Lake Talk's gone too. Except they just announced that they're back.
That don't count.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. Listen, dude, I will say this, okay? I may not have been the most popular when I was doing it, okay? I may not be the one with the best guest, but I'll tell you one thing I do have. Consistency. And I did that nonstop for 5 years, all right?
And ultimately, that was your demise.
No, I mean, I loved it. And I got tired of other things, right? Not necessarily what I was doing. I had a blast. I still do, obviously. Hence the success of No Hablo de Español. But that I did have. So Lake Talk 801, as your boy, just quit, just retire, sell all your stuff. And then that other one guy too, who I refuse to say his name. Hey, it's time to hang it, bud. It's time to hang it. Work on your athletic skills. Because every time you work out, you break something. So, yeah, just quit. And
at least he's working out.
And that's...
You can't say the same.
And I'm working. I'm going to the gym. What are you talking about?
When? Did you go
I didn't go this week. Yo, by the way, speaking of jumping, I'm going to be all over the place because I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
I have been... My water heater went out.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, you told me.
For 10 days, I took frozen showers.
That's your own problem. What did I text you? Isn't
that weird?
Nah, see, this is how Angel plays a victim on a lot of shit. Nobody invites me. Angel, you want to come to the pod? I can't. I'm doing blah, blah, blah. You get invited.
Don't you lie.
No,
you haven't invited me to pod.
I've never invited you to pod.
You haven't invited me for so long.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't. And then you say, hey, Dre Español. Baby, I'm there.
I invited you right before you quit.
Hey,
it might have even been the same week.
If you want to talk about this, I invited you to be on the last 10 pods.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for that response.
Yeah, partly because you want a pod at 7 o'clock at night.
Well, I hate late pods. Some of us have regular 9 to 5s.
And some of us have...
Who is not a 9 to 5.
I have a regular 9 to 5. Yeah.
Oh.
And I got 3 kids.
Well, we could have done that over the weekend.
Yeah, could have, but didn't. And then you quit.
Yeah, and then I quit.
And on top of that, I had a point and you threw me off.
Good.
Oh, you like to play victim. That's what it was.
Do you like the attention?
I forgot where I was going, but welcome to the pod, Angel.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I was texting you, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on, man? You good?" He's like, my water heater broke.
Yeah.
I've been taking freezing showers. I was like, grab your shit, come take a shower at my house. And what'd you say?
I think that's weird.
I'm too good.
No, shut the fuck. No, don't you think that's weird?
No. There's gonna be a point in time where
we all got to shower together.
Not together, but there's gonna be a point in time where you gotta fucking be like, all right, like I'm not gonna be this prideful.
It's not about pride.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. My mother asked me to go shower at her house. She's 5 minutes away from my house. I for some reason I was just like, I don't know about that. I'll just do it here.
And no, you said what? You said I'd rather go shower at the gym.
I shower at the gym, and then someone said, "Well, was that you?
Yes.
You gotta get herpes or something."
Yes.
I'm like, well, I'm not showering at it. It was okay. I mean, I learned how to do showers in like 2 minutes.
Do they have curtains or something? Like, how do you have privacy?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they do.
It's just a curtain?
No, it's not a. I think it's a door.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a stall, but it's just for a shower.
Just the lower half?
I think. Yeah. Obviously, I'm telling you that I've never done it, so I don't know.
But
it's gotta be private. No, I never did.
I've never was the kid when we go to the recreation center.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the pool, you're supposed to rinse off before you get in and rinse off after. Never did.
Not me, dude. My mom, because my mom worked at the bank back home, we had like this bank employees rec center, and it was huge. It was ginormous, and they have like you can take any sport. You can do basketball, soccer. You can do diving. You can do. They had an Olympic pool. So you're swimming. So they have a bunch of stuff: volleyball, gymnastics, all that stuff. And I remember. I don't know where I was going with this.
It's a horrible podcast.
What we're talking about?
Where I was getting at is that I never showered at those public places because I hate the feeling of walking into a bathroom,
walking on sunshine,
and it's always tile. It's always like cold tile, and I'm like, am I stepping in other people's piss?
Yeah.
And at the pool, there's always diarrhea. There's always a kid with diarrhea, and it's like, ooh, like and you're walking through the whole thing. So I never showered in the rec room. Because I hate the feeling of the floor.
So that's where I was going. And when I used to go there and I used to shower, they have like the prison showers. So they're just separated with no door.
Oh, hell no.
So you're like showering, your thing is all dangling in there. Everybody gets to see it. You get to see everybody's.
Well, that's weird, man, because you got all different walks of life. You don't know who's a weirdo. There's little kids. And that was one thing that always bugged me about the rec room. Is that the old guys, they don't give a fuck.
They don't, dude. They don't care.
No, 65 plus, if they're on Medicaid, their dicks out, and balls and everything out.
And then they're sitting on the bench that you sit on to change, and they're like, the ball is on the wood. They're like,
yep. Nasty.
Yeah,
and then here comes little Billy walking across with his friends. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, that's gotta be a no-no nowadays, right?
I would hope so. Like, no, like you can shower, but you better have trunks on.
I have a story that will cancel this podcast if you want to hear it.
Let's hear it. Cancel this podcast or cancel you?
No, this podcast. So when I was back in this rec center, I long story short, went to shower. In front of me, there was a older gentleman. I've said this story before. There was an older gentleman showering too. Once again, everybody's naked, right? So because we were across the road, across the hall, when you're showering, you're facing the shower, well, your back's facing him, right? Unless he turns around again. Long story short, fella started getting an erection.
What?
Yeah. I was 14, 15.
Oh, hell no.
Older guy, too. And he, like, pretended not to, like, he was, like, showering. He would turn around every time I would do something and turn around, he was looking at me. But then he would turn around and, like, but I can see that I'm like, damn, I mean, you're 14, right? So you're like, that's weird.
You didn't say nothing?
What am I going to say?
You sick fuck. Oh, I was a bad 14-year-old. I would have told my homeboys. Who would have jumped him? Like, I was a bad teenager.
But the majority of the time, like, even though I could bring as many friends as I could, like the majority of the time I was there by myself. Because I could just ride my bike and go. It was like a half hour bike ride. And so I would go and I would just swim, and I didn't know anybody there. So it was just for me to release all the energy that I had.
Did you see this guy often? Like after you left, did you see him again?
Yeah, especially in the locker room.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's a creepo just chilling in the locker room the whole time.
So I don't know if he was going there just to swim, just to do whatever, but yeah, I can see his face too. I will point him out.
Jeez. You didn't tell your mom?
Mm.
Damn.
It's a lot of things happen, dude. The creepos on me. Not on me, but like to me. Like they were like, I turned people on, dude. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not your fault, Angel.
It's not.
It's not your fault.
It's not.
Don't blame yourself.
Wait, is my family coming in?
Did you ever, you talked about doing the high dive and shit. Did you ever take any of those classes?
No, but you know what I did? So that pool is super deep. I was just talking about this 2 days ago. I would go in there because I don't know how to, like, I taught myself how to swim. I never took a lesson, right? So quote unquote, I don't know how to swim, but I won't drown.
Yeah.
So I would go, like, I would jump, but it was like you just drop like standing up, right?
Yeah.
Not fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was swimming in that pool, I would go to the bottom of it. And it's like 20, 25 feet.
Holy smokes.
And you go like in the bottom, you're just like pushing yourself down. And then when you get there, I would try to go crisscross applesauce and just sit there and look. And you feel the entire weight of the pool. You're just like, and
that's insane.
And then you're like,
almost lose your breath to the surface. Have you seen the previews for that new movie, Last Breath?
No, we talked about this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We were at the bar and we seen the preview.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this is a true story.
Yeah.
So I went home, I went to YouTube, and I seen the actual interview from the guy that survived.
Okay.
So the guy, I think it happened in Australia or the UK.
Okay.
One of the two. And so they go into, they're doing these operational working thing on oil rigs, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so they're at the bottom of the ocean, not the very bottom, but they're, I think it is the base. And they usually have these cords if they need to make like a spacewalk or a sea walk. Yeah. They have
a sea walk.
Yeah, well, they're in the sea and they're walking. In the sea,
I
right?
see what you did.
Yeah.
I thought they were like
nah. And the oxygen tanks that they have, I guess the extra supply is supposed to last you about 5 minutes. This guy has actually lasted him 30 minutes.
The 5 minutes lasted him 30?
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't know how he got it done, but there was a rescue team that came to save him, but the line got cut, and the guy was supposed to rescue him went into the fucking abyss. Like the trailer that I seen is very fucking close to what actually happened. It's pretty intense. We were gonna go see that on Tressa and I's anniversary, but we ended up watching the movie Love Hurts. The one where I thought it was Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
But it was actually Data from the Goonies.
Yeah. Is it good?
Oh, fire. It's a good comedy action.
Oh, it's comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Oh, nice.
Comedy action. It's pretty much like a Jackie Chan movie. Mm-hmm. Remember how Jackie Chan was like action, but he's doing the comedy? Yeah. Solid movie. So if you're looking for a movie to watch, there's not a lot of good ones out, but that one is.
I'm in between that one. What's the one we just talked about? The divers?
Last Breath.
And then the Mark Wahlberg one, which he's a pilot.
Oh, yeah. That was based off a true story too, wasn't it?
I don't know about that. But he plays like an older Southern man, and he's a flyer. He's a pilot. And then something happens in the air, like he's trying to kidnap or something. But I haven't seen it. I think the whole movie's like in the air. They're in the air.
Oh, shoot.
But
Mark Wahlberg, been a part of a lot of movies. Not the greatest actor.
No. Not the greatest rapper either. Everybody was like, but I think
he was the first though.
That's what I was gonna say. Would you say he's the first white?
Yeah. Not the first white. I think. What was Good Vibrations? The Funky Bunch was like 90.
No.
93, wasn't it?
Look that up.
I think it was 93. But Kid Rock was like, I think they were all about the early 90s.
What if I became your Jamie?
If you want to, you can.
I got nothing going on.
I can make it happen. But I was going to say, I think Mark Wahlberg was the first one that I could remember that went from music to Hollywood. Because I think even Ice-T was after.
Ice-T ain't white.
No, maybe not. Ice-T was New Jack City, which was 95, I think.
But Ice-T's not white. We're not talking about that.
Oh, we're talking just white?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure then. Yeah, for sure he was the first white rapper turned actor. But I think Kid Rock might have had him before then.
Kid Rock?
Yeah, he was a rapper. He had a flat top. You didn't know that?
What?
Yeah, Kid Rock was he was the first, like, I don't want to say first white rapper, but he was one of the first.
Wasn't, I was going to say Vin Diesel, but he was a breakdancer, not a rapper.
Vin Diesel breakdance?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's a big-ass
He
robot.
was good too, yeah. But
What is Vin Diesel? Is he Italian or Cuban?
I don't know.
Vin Diesel, Mariah Carey, we don't know what they are.
I thought Mariah was blackish.
But what is she? Like black and what? German and what?
I
She's
don't know.
mixed.
Yeah.
Don't know what Vin Diesel is. I keep on wanting to say Italian just because of that one movie where he robs the bank.
That can't be his name either, right?
Vincent, probably like Vincent D'Inciso or something like that.
So Italian.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, let's go with Vin Diesel. It's all about family.
I'm Groot.
I'm Groot. Got paid big bucks just to say I'm Groot.
Right?
Fire.
Batista say, I don't want to do that anymore.
Have you seen Batista lately?
Yeah, dude. Yo, have you seen George Lopez lately?
Oh man, that dude looks like he lives under a bridge. He looks like a troll.
He looks like Albert Einstein.
I don't really fuck with George Lopez no more
Oh, yeah?
because of what he did to Ralph Barbosa. He just like puts down another Hispanic, and it just feels
Comedian.
like, yeah, and especially a comedian, but it just feels like if it's not him, he doesn't want you to win. It's what it feels like to me.
What I don't like about I think I watched his first two specials and I was rolling because it was like it's so accurate. But then I realized that everything is the same. Like it's different jokes, but it's the same.
Oh yeah.
And so I kind of got away too. And last weekend I stopped at my mother's house on Sunday and she started playing his new special. And dude, in 15 minutes we sat there and we were like this.
No laughs.
And my mom is like, this isn't funny. You know which one I started seeing? I'm like, this is making me chuckle. Felipe Esparza.
He's funny though.
Yeah, he's funny.
Like he's just one of those natural, like funny guys.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to go. Obviously, nobody at this point, nobody takes it away from Fluffy, right? When it comes to Latino, Fluffy's.
I mean, he's global.
Balling, dude.
He's not. I mean, he's stadiums. He's not even arenas no more.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know he has a W Buses collection?
WWE. Oh yeah, yeah. He's always at the events when he's in when they're in San Diego or LA, California. Anytime they're in California, Fluffy's there.
Yeah.
But he's a real fan of the art.
Yeah.
Which is dope. Like he has a Hawaiian shirt. He always wears a Hawaiian shirt, but it's a WWE one with the logo.
Also clean.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
By the time you get to that status, doing clean stuff, that's like wow. What's the other one? The Hot Pocket. He's clean. Jerry Seinfeld. He's clean.
I can't get into Jerry Seinfeld.
I can't either, but I'm saying, I mean, look where he is.
What's up with the guys and the girls?
What's wrong with the airports? Yeah.
There's certain comedians. I think I told you this. I feel like the comedian, comedian era that we had the last 5 years, I feel like it's dwindling down.
I can see that.
I don't see there being as much hype for guys like the Bobbies, the Andrew Santinos, the Shane Gillis.
Bobby's coming to town.
You sent me the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you a joke. He doesn't have a special, right?
Never.
Yeah, so that's where it's like, how are you touring and you haven't even done it?
Well, he's gonna do one. That's why he's touring.
Oh,
Yeah. But him and Santino are killing it on that thing. They're in the millions of downloads, millions of views
for their
It's
podcast.
crazy, yeah. And also, have you looked on the views of Theo? Theo is like on another stratosphere right now.
Theo, he rides this thin line between right and left, which I think is dope. Right, he can have a conversation with Trump, but then he can go and have a conversation with a guy that does trash.
Riff Raff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Riff Raff.
He made Cat Williams crack. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Well, he was talking about. I was at your
Black
house.
Ducks.
No, he was talking about the Nutcracker.
Oh yeah.
You see that? He's like, yeah, I
with
bought Cat
with
Williams.
Drewski.
Yeah. Drewski's another funny guy. Have you seen him?
I don't know. All I've seen from him is that could have been Wreckers or something. And I've seen the clips. It's not like I've seen a thing of him.
Well, I don't think he does stand up. Or maybe he does stand up, but he just haven't dropped any specials or anything.
Yeah.
But his sketches are funny as hell.
Yeah. All I know is that he shows up on like All-Star basketball, All-Star golf. I mean, he's in those kind of events.
Motherfuckers in Sprite commercials, T-Mobile commercials. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, how do I get that? Fuck. I'm fat and black. Come on, throw me a bone. I could be funny when I need to be.
Theo is like, you're telling me that's not a cat, Willie?
I was thinking about a bit on my way home. So my son, Tavian, he does this new thing. It's not new. It's a game we've been playing forever. Did you guys play Slug Bug in Mexico?
Yeah.
So anytime you see a slug bug black, boom, no hitbacks, whatever.
Yeah.
Right, you punch them. We've been doing that. And I was thinking about this. I was on my way home, and I was like, do slug bug owners know that they are contributing to the abuse of children in America? Like there's a bit there, and I don't know what it is, because I've never heard nobody make a joke from that perspective.
What if you are the driver of that, and all you see around you is people punching each other?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know that you are a contributor to most of our childhood abuse.
Although growing up, for the way I knew that game, it was only with yellow ones.
Hell no, you call out the color. If you want to take it a step further, once we got the early 2000 bugs, there was because the old ones, they were so rare to see that when the new ones came out, it was like the old ones was like 2 punches.
Yeah.
Like this game turned, like people had their own rules to this damn game.
Yeah.
It'd be like if it was a convertible that was like 3 punches, because those were super rare. Mm-hmm. But I don't know why it was slug bug. I don't know who created this game.
Yeah, I don't know. You know who has one now?
Who?
Mr. Simmons.
A slug bug? An old one or a new one?
A new one. An old one.
Really?
Yeah. He's got to work on stuff, but he's like, he showed me a picture. It's pretty good looking. It's an oldie, yeah, but he's like.
For his wife or him?
No, it's been his, but he's been in his dad's house. Damn. But obviously, long story, right? But his dad just sold that house, so he's like, hey, everything here has to get out.
I think that's the first car that I know had the engine in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're German made, obviously.
I was never into BWs.
Really?
Like the bugs. I wasn't. And back home, like they had this thing called, because we call them Volchos. Mm-hmm. And they have like what it's called Volcho, in Spanish, Volchomania, which is like a Volchomania, whatever. And it was like just how now like all these Latinos get together with their trucks and they park at a gas station or something. Like they have a group like that for just BWs, or they did back then, 24 years ago. And they would go into like a mall's parking lot, and they would just shut the thing down, and it was hundreds of BWs.
Damn.
Magazines are there, and it was good. It was a good time.
There's one person walking out with black and blue leg. Why everybody slugging me?
And then there's some when I don't know if they make him or they fabricate him like that. Like some of them would cut him and would turn him in, like they'll make him halfway the length. It's so cool looking.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Thinking, what if they did a limousine like that? The makeshift. You seen the Hummer limousines? Mm-hmm. They should make a VW limousine.
Damn, dude.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Did you finish Ruby Frank?
Yeah. Of course, I told you about it.
So I just finished it last night.
Yeah.
So Ruby Frank, what's it called? The Devil
in the Family.
Devil in the
Family. The Fall of Ruby Frankie. It's
on Hulu. A 3-part documentary, and it was about this lady that has a YouTube channel, mm-hmm. and her 6 kids, her husband, they vlog their whole life. And she's like the picture perfect mom, picture perfect family, Mormon family in Utah. And when you text me, I was telling Tressa, I was like, yo, Angel got a documentary he wants us to watch. He said it's on Hulu. I was like, I don't know if we have Hulu. And she was like, we do. And then as like she's doing the thing to get us logged in,
pops out.
Well, no, she's like, yeah, I want to watch that Devil Inside with Ruby Frankie. I was like, oh, okay. And then we turn it on. I was like, oh, that's what Angel was telling us to watch. And so we turned it on, and man, let me tell you what, like this chick, I don't know if brainwash is the right word, But this it makes you realize that like there are people out there that can't think for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking scary because if you're going to ruin your own life, that's fine. But then you have 6 kids that their life, like their whole fucking shit's going to be ruined, you know? The way it started off was pretty crazy too with the boy going over to the...
Yeah.
How calm are you, like, little guy? You're a skeleton. He's like, bing, bing. He's like, yo, can you do me 2 favors?
Yeah, dude.
One, can you take me to the nearest police station?
But funny, that's how that turned into this massive thing, right?
It just kept on unraveling.
Yeah.
More and more comes out. And it's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing. And you can point so many fingers. And one thing, when I finished the documentary, I was like, that dad is a bitch. That dad is a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Why? Because how do you let your wife and another chick tell you to leave your children for a whole year?
Let me ask you this. Do you blame it? Do you blame him? Do you blame him? Do you blame her? Or do you blame the religion?
Well, let's put it in context for the people that haven't watched this thing.
Yeah, let's ruin it for them.
Yes. If you want spoilers, stick around. If you don't, fast forward about 15 minutes. So there came a point where this family, they met a chick. It was a Jody, Jody, and who is a therapist. And her thing was, she pointed a lot of fingers at men. Yeah, men need to stop lusting and all this stuff. And she was
divorced, by the way.
Yeah, from another woman, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's for you. That's for you to make your.
So she ends up fast forwarding through this. I'm not gonna give you the whole story, but there comes a point where the husband of Ruby Frankie, she tells him that he needs to leave the house. He can't have no contact with any of the girls in his family, which is his whole family. There was only 2 other boys, right? Yeah. And the kids, right? He can't converse, nothing. No texts, no calls, no letters, nothing. He left the house, went and got his own apartment, which apartment was pretty damn nice.
Hell yeah, it was.
I was wondering, what the hell does this family do other than social media? But he ends up leaving for a whole year. During this year, there's quote unquote possessions of the children, so they end up having to shackle these kids up, malnourish them, no food, water,
shave the little girl,
shave the girl's head. All this stuff. And when you ask me, do you think it's his fault, the girl's fault, or the religion? I think there are parts of the religion that manipulated this guy's thought process of, well, if my wife and who I love and our new friend who's a professional in this, if they're telling me that my kids are possessed, my kids have to be possessed, you know? But he didn't even know that part. That's the thing. He didn't know this part.
That came out on the notes.
And he was like, during the interrogation, he was like, what? Yeah. You know, and he thought the cops were lying to him. Yeah. So this is the part where I'm like, these people, they get manipulated so bad that they can't think for themselves. If I'm a father, I don't give a fuck who you are. Yeah. You're not going to keep me away from my kids. Yeah. Like a whole year? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like so when you ask that question, I think personally, 100% his fault. 100% his fault. You can't blame a religion. You can't blame anybody else for you not being there. I get it, yeah. You left. You went and got an apartment. You did this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
how much is fear or beliefs, and how much is sense of common sense, right?
And that dude lacked a lot of fucking common sense.
Yeah, the way he was talking, I go, well, no, dude. Like when he got asked to get kicked out, and you know how like they interview and ask him, so, and what did you do? And like the music paused, and there's a pause with him. And in my head, I'm like, well, don't say okay. He's all, I said okay. I'm like, you dumbass. Yeah.
He's a bitch, man.
Yo, they were making at the beginning of their peak, they were doing $100,000 a month.
How much was she giving the kids? Like $10. Remember she was like, yeah, I give you guys $10 a video. It's like, holy shit. Like, and I wonder what happened to all the money, right? Like, what did they? Because they were doing some years. You know what I mean? She was making millions. Yeah. Did they put that money in trust for the kids? You know, did they just put it all into Jody? Is that how she was able to get that nice ass mansion in St. George? By the way, St. George, fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn, no green, no grass in sight, but damn, this house is nice.
Yeah.
Are you sick of podcasts that just interview people with the same questions and gossiping nonsense?
Are you tired of hearing about what's wrong with the world? Can you locate your nearest orphanage?
Who cooked the Last Supper?
R.I.P. Mr. Potato Head.
Seppuku Harakiri.
Where is Mavis Beacon?
This is Hos.
And this is host Beefy.
Listen to the Beans and Rice podcast.
Exclusively in Braille and all streaming platforms.
Patent pending.
If you're a sports athlete looking for a mouthguard to protect your pearly whites, look no further than All Sports Mouthguards.
All Sports Mouthguards, located in West Jordan, Utah. Come visit us, 1385 West, 9000 South in West Jordan, Utah. We offer high quality, made in the USA, custom molded and custom designed mouthguards.
No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
You are the ex-champion already.
Now this is the way, Tony and David, that you do the figure 4 leg lock.
Do you love wrestling?
Do you believe that Stone Cold Steve Austin is the greatest entertainer of all time?
Or maybe that Shawn Michaels is the sexiest man alive?
Or did you have a thing for Sonny from the years of 1994 to 1996 like I did?
Did you know Yokozuna isn't even Japanese?
If you could count the number of dimples on Rikishi's ass, this podcast is for you.
Follow us, the Figure 4 Podcast on Instagram, at Figure 4 Podcast. And check us out on YouTube.
Do it.
Tell your punk friends about us.
Yeah.
Her mansion, when the cops raided it, and they go into the basement, and it's like a wine cellar type of thing, I'm like, holy shit.
Dude, the safe was a door to another room.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, yo, I was like, I didn't believe it, but then you see the cop's reaction when he goes, like, holy shit. Anyway, too much give it away.
That was, I don't give a fuck no more.
Ah, damn, dude.
So here's the thing too, is that when there was so much footage, so much documented footage where you seen when they're talking about certain things, they had the evidence to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
And when Frankie you could see the turn, like evil. When she's like, oh, yeah, it's mama. And then she hears something in the back. She's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, there was like all this footage, unedited footage. That's badass.
I'm like, this is one of those documentaries where you get to see literally
exactly
everything.
What happens.
When they raid Jody's house, she's on the phone with her lawyer. I'm on the phone with my lawyer.
And they drag her out like a piece of shit she was. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. They end up being convicted. And they pled guilty to everything. They didn't even try to fight. They didn't go to trial or anything. They pled guilty to every single charge, which is great. Serving up to 30 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
If they have to, I think they have to serve 60% of their time in federal. I think so. So they're looking at maybe 20 years, 25 years. And they just got convicted, I think in 2023 or 24. So they're gonna be in there for a while.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Good.
And the one daughter, the oldest daughter, her new thing is making awareness about.
She's an advocate for it.
Yeah, for family vlogging.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's an evil thing. And I get it, like, because I vlog with my kids, and Tavian loves it. He loves when we vlog. And you could tell the kids, they loved it at one point too. But then they came a point when they turned into teenagers.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, they were doing everything.
It makes you
on
think.
Camera.
It makes you think how many of these families that are still doing, like the most famous kid that does the toy stuff, the Ryan's toy review. Was this kid happy? Was this kid really into the whole toy thing as an adult or as a teenager, preteen?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird to judge it, right? Because your life is so easy, your life is so different than what everybody else is doing, like kids your age. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you don't get to do what they do because you have to do this, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it gives you all the money, but also when you're that young, do you need all that money? You don't. You don't even know what to do with it. And it's not going to you; it's going to your parents. Depending on how many pieces, like if they're pieces of shit, you're never going to see them.
Exactly, they're going to spend it all and give you $10. And to you as a kid, $10 is a whole lot of money.
Oh yeah, you're rich,
right? Mom gets $10,000, you get $10. This is crazy. But it goes into a deeper conversation where it's like we've been seeing this forever. The parents that ruin the kid's life for a self gain. You know what I mean? We see what happened with the Jackson 5. You know what I mean? We see what happens with young Amanda Bynes. You know, she goes off the deep end. These child stars that get misused, manipulated at such a young age to where it ruins them in the future, like in a big way.
Did you watch that one too? Quiet on Set?
I watched a little bit of it, but then it just got a little, when they were talking about Amanda Bynes, I think she got pregnant, but she ended up aborting it. And it was from that guy.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, yeah. But it
got too dark.
Yeah, man, it was just like, bro, anything with kids and watching that shit, it turns my stomach, you know? Like, even down to the Richard Ramirez story, bro, like, I think there was a couple kids in there that he killed or something, and it just it turned my stomach, bro. I can't do it.
Did you see the other one? There's another one out there.
Which one?
Fox Hollow Farm Murders.
Oh, what's this on?
Dude, I'm about to show you the trailer when we get out of here. It has the same vibe as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh shit!
So he was a guy that was had a family. They all do, right? Had a family, very successful, money, and he was going to, I think he was gay, and he was into going to the gay bars and allure people to go into his house, his farm, and long story short, 10,000 bones have been found, and this was like many acres farm. The house was a mansion. There was mannequins all over the house that he had like that. There's weird things. I mean, that one is better than the one we're talking about, so I don't want to give it away. But I'll tell you a little more after. But it is so intense because they interview the guy who they think helped him, and this guy is the weirdest person. He is a villain character at a movie in real life.
Oh hell!
The way he talks, the way he moves, the way he looks at the camera, the way his teeth look, the way it's just, you're like, arrest this motherfucker. But they never did.
Because they don't have enough evidence.
They don't have enough evidence, yeah. But then also they were because the bodies were buried in the land of the house, and this guy, according to people, there's like, okay, but if he did it, how do you kill somebody in the house and drag it so many yards away and bury it being one person?
When did this? When did these start happening? Like what years?
This was in the. So the story starts from the 70s, but I think the house and everything starts in the early 80s.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
10,000 bones is what they recovered.
Yeah, they still recovering it because they're so far. It's just the house is humongous.
Where is this at?
Somewhere in the south. I can't remember.
That's insane.
But yeah.
And what's it called?
Fox Hollow. Is it Fox Hollow Murders or Fox Hollow Farms Murders?
Is it on Hulu? Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm going to check that one out.
That one's so good, dude. You just wait until you see this guy. You're gonna be like, oh, he did it, no doubt, 100%.
Isn't that weird? Where it's like,
and then after you watch it, I'll tell you what I think.
Oh snap!
Oh yeah,
there's some conspiracy to this.
No, it's something that I just told somebody else to watch it, and they texted me and said, hey, I'm watching this, and I'm like really into it. And when they told me that, I started thinking, I'm like, and then I started asking myself some questions. Like, what if this person has something to do with it? And so, I don't know. Once you watch it, I'll ask you.
Is it long?
I think it's 3 eps too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over I need 6 episodes to tell a doc.
Yeah.
Come on now. Like, we need this now.
Black Hawk Down, do you see it?
Yeah.
That was good.
Did you watch? You never watched the movie though, huh?
No.
So you got to watch the movie.
Yeah.
They get it pretty damn close.
Yeah.
To like what actually happened with the Somalis. That movie was something else too. Like just that story alone, and we don't talk about it often because it wasn't a war, but it was a a battle that the U.S. did not win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have been one of the first.
That's why we're gonna talk about it.
Where we back out of what actually happened, and the U.S. man, we're in a weird spot, man. Even right now, I was just having this conversation with Tavian, my oldest son. We were watching Gladiator 2. We're watching Gladiator 2 with the Romans, right? And I was telling
good.
I never even seen Gladiator 1, but Gladiator 2, without watching the first one, I still enjoyed Gladiator 2. Gladiator 1, slow build up in the beginning. Gladiator 2, I felt like they got to it. Boom, let's go.
So it's not the same movie.
No.
Okay.
Well, I think it's a continuation, I think.
Okay.
But I had no problem understanding what was going on. So we're watching Gladiator 2, and he was like, Dad, is this real? I was like, yeah, it's the Coliseum. This is where the guys battled. Some of them battled for freedom. And some of them got lied to, where they battled, they won, and they weren't freed, right? And so I'm telling them about how the Roman Empire, how much the Roman Empire ruled, right? And how everybody has their era, right? Genghis Khan with I think it was China. He had a whole era, and I think like 90-something% of his genes still run through Mongolia, right? And I was telling him that the Roman Empire fell, and when Zelensky and Trump and them they met, it almost felt like, damn, are we seeing the world superpower in the United States? Is this right now? Is this the downfall of the superpower, the empire of the United States? Are we seeing the downfall right now? I don't know, but history repeats itself. Who's up here and eventually comes back down right here, and then who's going to be up here? And I think personally, right now there's so much going on. We're beefing with so many people. We're beefing with Canada. We're beefing with Mexico on tariffs, and now we don't have a great relationship with Ukraine now. Like, what's going to happen when China just slips through the back door and China's like, yo, we're still here. We're cool with y'all. We'll work with you, Ukraine. We'll work with you, Mexico. We're going to work with you, Canada. And we have the United States that's so stubborn, that's pushing away all of our allies. What's going to happen when China does? Are we going to see the Chinese empire? Are we going to see the Chinese empire back on top? And what does that look like for us? Does it look like these prices shooting back up? You know what I mean? How much import do we get from China?
Yeah.
Literally everything says made in China.
Mm-hmm.
What's that going to look like for us? Cell phones, all this stuff. It could mean something great. It could mean that, the U.S. is back to manufacturing our own shit.
Yeah. Or
Or it could mean tariffs and taxes are going to be super high on our imported goods.
Yeah.
To where it's going to be like, how are not only middle class, but how are going to be the people that are middle class, how are the people below middle class going to survive?
You think it'll happen in our lifetime?
I think we're seeing it, bro.
You think so?
I think we're seeing it right now. I think, man, just based off of that interaction with Zelensky and Trump, it's like, that's not how you treat your ally. That's not how you treat your friend. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be friends with Ukraine.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to treat everybody, all these other countries, we should be treating with respect. We're not at war with anybody, to my knowledge. Are we still Biden already pulled out of Afghanistan, so I'm assuming we're done with the Middle Eastern war. But that's not how you treat other countries. You know what I mean? And that's where I look at Mexico. I'm like, yo, Mexico's president, that chick is a boss. She's like, yo,
she's a gangster.
You're not going to do this to us. You guys going to do that to us? All right, we're going to do the same thing back. Everybody that's in Mexico, that's United States, and you guys ain't a citizen, get your ass out too.
Yeah. I think my mom keeps telling me this. I don't know how truthful this is, but I think because of that's happening, this chick said, oh, okay, so you want to kick my people out. Then every single person in your country that wants to come here, now they need a visa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no different from what we're doing, it feels like, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know all the ins and outs with this thing, but from what I do know and what I'm understanding, it's really just like we can do that too. Mm. You know what I mean? I feel like the people that are up here and the people that are making these decisions, they don't realize how much people in the United States do travel back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How the people that live in San Diego, how much they got best friends that are just right there in Tijuana. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's going to make it a tricky, hard thing, especially how many Americans do business in Mexico and vice versa?
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just going to make it super, sticky, and it doesn't have to be. Like, I feel like we're bordering countries. There should be one force where the people that are in South America can travel and be good if they want to go up to Canada. Like, we need to be a united front, especially for the United States. Like, we haven't had a war on our land since Pearl Harbor, and it's like we can be touched. We're super close to Russia. You see how close Alaska is to Russia. It's like we should have a really good support system all around us. Yeah. We're gonna have to lean on Canada. We leaned on Mexico when we had the California fires. That she sent up firefighters from Mexico. Yeah. It feels like the pendulum is swinging in a way that's not going to benefit the United States right now.
I think somehow the actual meaning of why this is happening, where so many Latinos coming this way, is because plain and simple, this country is better than ours. That's basically what it is, and because
better how though. Is it economically better?
Yeah, exactly. Back home, you don't have the opportunities you have here. I'm the living example of that. Mm-hmm. I barely finished high school, right? There was people in my classroom that finished high school and they went on to college and they went into this and they're working as waiters because there's just not work. Mm-hmm. They don't have any work. Meanwhile, I'm here in the sun and the rain and the snow, and I'm making 3 times what they make, right? And I'm not even talking about dollars to pesos. I'm talking like if you turn my dollars into pesos, it's still, blows them away. So I don't know if that changes the meaning of anything, but like for people are not coming here to destroy this country. People are coming here because it's worldly known that this is a better country, right? And when you come here, you can do things that you can't do in your country. If we had the same opportunities in our country than here, this wouldn't be a problem.
You know what surprises me about that is that the Mexicans or the Chicanos here in the United States rally for each other. They all like the Latino Mall, for instance. Hey, let's go buy a building and let's put all of our shops in one spot, right? Why haven't we seen that in Mexico? Because it feels like the Mexican people should be able to create an infrastructure. And
I think there's people that can do that now, especially if you come here and you become successful doing what you do. You can always back home. Once you're successful, mind you, once you're successful here, you can go home and do whatever you want. See, a lot of these people, they come here and they build themselves an empire that they can just go back home and then be cool. The majority of the people, they want to be here just to get the life there better, and then they will leave. Mm-hmm. The industry that I'm in, it's run 90%, especially asphalt. 90% of it is run by Latinos, right? And depending on what team you're on, you might be one of the people that says, "Oh, we need this guy in the office." That's fine. But now, like the people that I work with voted for this specific person, right? But now, and I've heard it, and this is true. Now the concern is like, so what if they can come back?
What are you gonna do?
And so we're like, in my head, I go, you tell me, right? Again, I don't care. Everybody does. Everybody has their own beliefs, their own whatever. But if this is the right guy, okay, cool. This is the right guy. Now, industries like mine that are run by Latinos, let's just say all of a sudden they can't come back. So what are we gonna do? Because it's not news that the work that in my industry, the work that these guys do, not a lot of Americans are doing it. Now, we do have Americans doing it, and we do have Americans that are very successful at it. I will say this. But the majority of those guys, 1/2 to 3/4 of their crews is by Latinos. So it's a fine line, but I think that the meaning of all these people are coming here and taking our jobs, yes, but it's because your country is better. There's not a better way to say it, right? Yeah, my mom decided to leave family, friends. I was just talking to my mom yesterday. We've been here for 24 years, right? Mm-hmm. She just told me that she has a friend, and I go, holy shit, like this is the first time I heard it. Back home, she had her 4 or 5 best friends. I grew up calling them aunts because they've been around forever, right? And he was like, oh, I'm going to go get my nails with my friend. I'm like, excuse me? Like, since when you have a friend? Like, it's not her. But she left all that because of the idea of, because back then it was an idea, right? The idea of coming here and making her son, me, and her daughters, my sisters, life better. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm at a point in my life that I own my own vehicle. I have my Harley Davidson. I just bought a place. By the way, your boy just killed it on taxes. Killed it twice in last year. I mean, twice double. And now my sister, she's so successful at what she does that she doesn't even live here. Mm-hmm. Right? So my mom can now say, I busted my ass. I was back home working 3 jobs. Now I come here, and I started as a room service girl, and now I'm in this 5-star hotel that they just opened. I'm their boss. I'm in salary. I manage all these people, and all because my mom decided to say, we're not going to do this anymore because this is clearly not working. Mm-hmm. Let's go here. And that's why I have my mom on a pedestal, because she changed our lives by just saying, I'm going to quit everything that I know just to do this, right? Now, we never had the idea of going back home. I don't. Yeah. Whether because I came here when I was younger, like I'm not an older person that came here, right? So, and I was lucky enough that I came with my mother. So I have nothing that is calling me back home. But she didn't have that, right? So now, we've never been the kind of people that say, oh, let's just work our asses off and then go back, right? We want to have properties. I want to have an Airbnb. I want to have everything back home. I want to have a house that I can just be like, hey, all my friends, let's go to my hometown and I have a house by the beach and whatever. And then rent it out while I'm not there. But we've never been that kind of people, right? Then I've met people in my construction life that have figured out how to, quick story. I worked with a guy that was a mechanic. He went to the auctions, bought all these machines that were dirt cheap because they were broken, fixed every single one of them. Now he works for a guy who rents those machines from him. So now he's making money after being a mechanic for that construction company. Plus, he makes money for renting these machines to him. This guy has worked his entire life here to build a mansion back home. So at one point, when that mansion is built and it's paid for, he'll sell all these machines, take those millions of hundreds of thousands of dollars, go home and then say, I've done it. Mm-hmm. I went, I busted my ass, I was smart about money, I built this, and then now I can go back and die in my hometown. Mm. A lot of people do that, right? So the idea of people coming here and stealing jobs, the actual meaning of it gets lost. People just want to better their lives. And the truth is, the United States is a better country when it comes to opportunities.
Yeah. All that might be gone. Do you have dual citizenship?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen of Mexico?
I don't have anything to prove it because my stuff is expired, but I can just get it.
But you can get it?
Yeah. I came here with a driver license, an elector's vote, that is an elector's card, that was what we used to vote. Mm-hmm. It's just another legit ID, and my passport. So if I renew all those, then yeah.
But if you don't, it's going to be hard for you to buy land out there. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard. I mean, as of right now.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where it's like, that's why I think that this is a bigger problem or a bigger concern than what people really think it is. It's everything that you just said, but it's also like having the opportunity to buy land, having the opportunity to go back and forth, having the opportunity to start a business out there or whatever, or here. It's really finicky. It's really messy, and I just hope that it gets better. You know,
you see, all these guys that we'll finish with this, but all these guys that work with us, they work their ass off. They're in Mexico right now. They're worrying about their business. They're worrying about. I met a guy last year that I went to his house. He lives in a beat up trailer home. A beat up trailer home. He has a nice brand new Toyota truck that he bought in Mexico, brought it here. I was talking to him and he goes, I have businesses in Mexico. I have land. I have ranches. I have this and that. But he lives in such a piece of shit place because he's like, this is not my place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to do that. All these people, they work their ass off. They work the weekends. They work 60, 70, 75 hours a week all year long. Not all year long, but like especially through our peak season. They're busting their ass in the heat in the summer, doing asphalt too. Mm-hmm. Asphalt is 400 degrees. November comes around and he's like, hey, the minute you can, I'm out of here. You let me know. So when we lay people off, they're like, they're just flying back home or driving back home. And then they put their money into work. Okay, now I make this much money. And they're not coming back until like the beginning of May.
Yeah, but how can they come back now?
That's what I'm saying. But that's the idea, right? They're working their ass off. They're making us look good because we got projects that need to be done, and then they get it done. But then it gets to a certain point, you're like, hey, I'm out.
What does that look like if the, not specifically to your company, but what does it look like if the people that majority of your working staff is from a different country? If they're not able to come back to work on the on season, what does that look like? How does that impact our community?
Think about it, right? We do residential as much as we do business, right? So before we finish this season, we send 3 crews to finish a Costco, right? And they bust it out in like time record, right? Again, the majority of these crews are made by Latinos. Mm-hmm. You don't have those guys coming back, and you can't make that happen, right? Then your time is affecting. The time to get the projects done is affecting, right? Obviously, the money coming in is affecting, right? Because, again, we can hire people to do this, but record shows there's not a lot of Americans that are jumping and they're foaming out the mouth to do asphalt.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
So it will delay, for instance, in your example, Costco, it will delay the people that are working at Costco to have a job.
Exactly. So think about it. So the Costco doesn't get done. We look bad. We don't get paid as a company, as a full company, right? The people that are getting hired to work at Costco, they don't work. So it's just a domino, right? And we're talking about a business, right? Yeah. We also do brand new subdivisions when there's people that they're literally waiting for the road to be paved so they can go and start building the homes, right? The people that are building the homes, they're waiting for us to pave so they can start bringing machines, so they can start, so the trucks can start coming in. So everything starts with what we do.
Yeah.
Whether it's pipes, whether it's dirt, or whether or asphalt. So it affects, like, obviously
and supplies too, right?
Supplies.
You're not going to buy supplies for a job that you can't cover right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah,
it can help. It can hurt us tremendously. Mm-hmm. And all people, and security is a big thing. I get it. But security is a big thing no matter what country you're in. Security is a huge thing. And that's the thing about, from my understanding, with Mexico, I believe the Mexican president, she's even like, yo, like, I'll send more people over to the border if we need.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, as much as I don't want drugs going over your guys' border, I don't want that shit coming over here either. Because that's the thing that people forget too, is that there are drugs being pushed from the United States to Mexico as well. And other shit that ain't supposed to be over here or over there, right? So and there has to be a healthy balance and a healthy relationship between leadership in both countries that border us.
Yeah.
And worrying about the name of the Gulf, I don't think is a worry that we should have right now.
Yeah, when I saw that.
Gulf of America sounds silly anyway.
When I first heard that, I'm like, you can't do that, can you? And I understand that, it's called Gulf of Mexico, but it's 3/4 is in Mexico, and then I mean, Miami's there, right?
Yeah, and Texas.
But I don't know. When I heard that one, I'm like, even somebody at the office who is very Republican, he's like, well, we got problems here. Why are you worrying about naming other things? Like, leave that over there. Who cares?
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I think that there is a change in an era of the United States being a superpower. I think we'll always be a superpower, but I just think that we're missing the ball right now, and we're worried about what's going on the left hand, and this other right hand, China, is going to swoop in, and they're going to they just bought a whole bunch of shit in Africa, like people don't know about.
Really?
Africa is the biggest continent in the world, and China is doing good business with Africa, the African countries, and they're buying up a bunch of land out there too. So it's like, we're worrying about the wrong thing right now, buddy. But hopefully it all smooths out. I mean, I just hope that we don't have a war that crumbles us economically.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can just get back on the right path with our allies and for the people of the United States, because, man, it's looking tough out here, man. It's looking tough. Like, I don't know anybody that can just work off of one job no more and have a family. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's tough, but I think we'll get through. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's not be so serious anymore.
What do you want to talk about next?
I don't know.
I didn't have nothing on the agenda.
Neither do I. Say something funny.
All right, Angel. I mean, we did do an hour.
That's right.
You want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I was gonna say, where can the people catch you, but it doesn't even matter.
Hey, you can still watch the YouTubes. You can follow me at Angel Cervera on Instagram, and that's my last name, Cervera.
Cool. If you want to help continue to support this podcast and help this show, help keep the lights on in the studio, you can just go on to patreon.com/DreRawka, DreRawka. Become a patron. I have different tiers up there. Tier 1 is just, you want to show some love. You're just throwing $3 every month just to show some love and help me. There's a $5 tier, a $10 tier, and the $50 tier. So definitely go and figure out what works best for you. There's tons of content up there. There's exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else, including my story on why I quit radio. Go check that out. But if you're a non-paying peasant, if you're part of the MPP crew, go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. It's free to show love. And the MPP crew, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'll probably get some t-shirts made for y'all. I think I might do that. You have to pay for them though. Follow me on Instagram at DreRawka, DreRawka. Have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. We're out. Peace. Coke Zeros are fire. I think Coke Zero is probably the only one that really tastes like the actual Coke. I mean, you can't get the actual Coke flavor, but I think it's the closest thing to it. Yeah. And I tried telling Tressa, I was like, yo, instead of doing regular Coke, just do Coke Zero. It's 0 sugar, 0 calorie.
Dude, our favorite bar should switch to Coke, dude.
I think a lot of people feel that way. But at the same time, like, if you're the business owner.
I wonder if he's doing it on purpose. All you guys, watch me not do it.
Yeah. Oh, because you guys want it that way? Well, fuck you. Now, I just think that when you have a good relationship with the sales rep,
yeah,
it might not be what you want, but because you can depend on them, they'll be on time. It's dependable.
Yeah,
I think that's what keeps the business going.
Is it? Do you think is really like up there with the competition? You really think they're head to head? I don't.
I do when it comes to restaurants.
I do know that there's when
it comes to restaurants, I believe it is. But I've been to restaurants where they have both too, though. Haven't you been?
Yeah, what's wrong with having both?
I don't know.
But I'm guessing that's because obviously, because basically, if you go to Coke, they supply you with everything else, right? Mountain Dew or whatever it is. I don't know who they belong to, and if you go to Pepsi, then they have whatever Pepsi has, right? Now, if you go into both, you basically ask. It's like buying Wonder Bread and something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. Yeah. Saving money, one way or the other. Both, it's crazy. But if you're successful, like, Olive Garden.
Yeah, I also don't think people really know the difference once they're drunk.
Exactly.
Well, when you're drunk, it's like, this ain't Coke with a Jack and Coke. It's a Pepsi and Coke. You're drunk. You don't. I never hear anybody be like, ew, this is not Coke.
Do you remember the taste of those?
Jack and Coke?
Yeah.
That was my thing for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
It's never been my thing. It reminds me of One of the episodes that I did at the pod, Brian came in. Shout out to DJ Bad Boy Brian. He had Diet Coke and Bacardi. I was like, I mean, I drank it. But
that's rum. No, it's fire.
Yeah.
With a coconut. If you do a coconut Bacardi too.
Well, no, that was regular Bacardi. But I remember drinking that probably when I wasn't supposed to, and so it takes me back to like, yeah, let's drink this, but make sure my mom is not around the corner. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, let's start this thing.
Oh, I thought we did.
No.